After the Bulls' blowout loss to the Phoenix Suns on Thursday, Lonzo Ball has now missed 63 straight games and 68 games overall for the Bulls in his debut season for the Bulls. The injured Chicago Bulls point guard was a crucial member of the team as he led the Bulls to the top of the Eastern Conference before suffering an injury. However, without Ball in the lineup last season, the Bulls went 19-23, which begs the question, without Lonzo Ball this year, how are the Bulls performing? Can they still advance this year without Ball? When does he anticipate the return? Before Lonzo Ball ever joined the Chicago Bulls, the Windy City team made sure to completely overhaul the roster, as only Zach LaVine and Kobe White were remaining on the 2019-2020 squad that finished 11th in the Eastern Conference with a 23-43 record. And not to mention that they didn't even get any better in the 2020-2021 NBA season as they finished 11th again, missing the playoffs for the fourth year in a row. However, in a bid to get back to the playoffs and show that they are capable of competing against the top NBA teams, the Bulls added DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, and particularly Lonzo Ball to their roster. Before he even signed, Lonzo Ball was already a top priority for the Bulls, who were aware of how important he is going to be on the team. He was the top priority at the time the Bulls were completely overhauling their roster, and when the deal fell through, the Bulls prioritized acquiring him once more in the 2021 offseason after failing to trade for him by the 2021 trade deadline. And to top it all off, they were made to pay a fine for tampering with the sign-and-trade agreement that allowed them to join the Windy City basketball team. The Bulls were made to forfeit their next available second-round pick after they were found to have violated the league's rules governing the timing of free agency discussion prior to acquiring him. However, despite the Bulls giving him a 4-year, $80 million contract, it still leaves the question: has Lonzo Ball proved to be worth the penalty the Bulls had to pay to sign him so far? Lonzo Ball has only appeared in 35 games for the Chicago Bulls so far, but according to his teammate and star shooting guard for the Bulls, Zach LaVine, everybody loves playing with Zoe. Even five-time NBA All-Star DeMar DeRozan attested to his importance to the Bulls' success last season when he said, "Just the whole dynamic of the game changed with Zoe out there. Man, the excitement that he brings a different type of swagger to us when he plays. I'm pretty sure you can pinpoint that when he's out there." Given that he's elite on both ends of the court, the 24-year-old NBA player is possibly the best two-way player currently on the Bulls roster. For the Bulls offense, his shooting was outstanding. He had a career-high 42.3% from three-point range at 7.4 attempts per game. Despite his limited game time, he led the team with an average of 1.8 steals per game and finished fourth last season with 64 overall. His playmaking made sure that the court was balanced for all the players, and he was also able to direct a high-octane offense at an elite level. Besides, it would be wrong not to mention his defensive contribution to the Bulls last season. His presence last season ensured that both LaVine and DeRozan could focus mainly on scoring, rather than worrying about also creating chances for their teammate. From his vision, basketball IQ, assists, three-point shooting, to his ability to read defenses out of the ball screens, perimeter defense, and versatility, it was obvious that he was an important player on the roster. It therefore came as no surprise to anyone that the Bulls had a 23-10 record from the start of the previous season through the month of December when Ball was on the court. The Bulls had the best record in the Eastern Conference and the third best record overall about halfway through the 2021-22 NBA season, and things only got worse after Ball's injury. After Ball's injury, the Bulls' offensive ratings, which had been top 10 for the most part of the season, dropped to 25th, and the assist percentage, which was 7th, 16th, and 9th in the months of October, November, and December respectively, fell to 25th and 29th in the months of March and April. Without Lonzo Ball, the Bulls had a 19-23 record, but fortunately, they made the playoffs for the first time in 4 years after they finished 6th in the Eastern Conference with a 46-36 record. But they fell to the defending NBA champion, the Milwaukee Bucks, in the first round of the playoffs, due to the unavailability of important players particularly. Nevertheless, the Bulls have since managed to adapt with the absence of Ball as they played rookie player Ayo Dosunmu as the point guard position last season and have since added the elite rebounder Andre Drummond this season to pair Dosunmu this season. But has that been enough? In all honesty, it hasn't. This season, the Bulls have struggled with consistency, which has made it clearer than ever that Lonzo Ball's absence from the lineup is felt. How else do you explain the Bulls' losses to the Orlando Magic, San Antonio Spurs, and OKC Thunder, while also defeating the Eastern Conference's top team, the Boston Celtics, twice, the Milwaukee Bucks, Brooklyn Nets, and anticipated playoff teams like the Miami Heat and Toronto Raptors? They are currently 9-13 and are abysmally vulnerable when guarding outside the arc, as their weakness beyond the arc is costing the team too much. The Bulls currently allowed the second highest percentage from beyond the arc in the league, and in their Thursday blowout loss against the Phoenix Suns, they allowed the Suns to shoot 45.5% from the three-point line. DeMar DeRozan even admitted how terribly they've been compared to last season when he said, "We've had some down moments, losing 4 games in a row, dropping games we thought we should have won, close games, getting our butts whooped at home. Kind of went through so many emotions already, 19 games into the season. Sometimes you got to soak in that hurt and kind of generate that to being competitors, and that's where I think we are now." Regardless, the Bulls' head coach, Billy Donovan, explained that the Bulls' vulnerability behind the arc is due to them trying to protect the paint, which consequently means that they are opening the three-point line. Donovan, however, insists they must continue to compete for balls behind the line, and Bulls point guard Alex Caruso appears to agree, insisting that they must make bigger efforts to compete for these balls at the three-point lines. Caruso, however, argues that given that their opponents are NBA professionals who would make their shots at any given opportunity, it wouldn't miraculously change their defense. Some teams, we just have to have a higher sense of urgency for some of their shooters. It's the NBA, professionals. Those guys, if you leave them open, they're going to make shots, Caruso said. Nevertheless, in the absence of Lonzo Ball and their losing record, the Bulls have been able to figure out how to defend without him. And in Caruso's words, they're not covering for him. They're just playing better defense. The Bulls are currently 11th on the NBA defense rating and are top 10 in important defensive stats. They are 9th in blocks per game, 8th in opponent point-off turnover, 9th in opponent fast break points, and 3rd in opponent second chance points. Regardless, the bigger issue still remains how long can the Bulls sustain this adaptability given that they are playing DeSumo out of his natural position. Caruso just got back from injury and is taking time to adapt, and Andre Drummond is not making a dent to what Ball could do for the Bulls. And Coach Billy Donovan shared these sentiments when he said, "Defensively, we made some strides, we've gotten better, but we have to be able to sustain it." So, with the continuous absence of Lonzo Ball, can the Bulls even make the playoffs this season? Besides, when is the star point guard expected to be back? Truth is that no one knows for sure, given that Ball claimed he had difficulty performing daily tasks and was unable to even jump or run, much less play basketball, just before going arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. Coach Billy Donovan, however, acknowledged that he is now able to perform tasks that he was previously unable to do after his surgery, and there's been some encouraging reports regarding his recovery. According to the Bulls, Lonzo Ball should return in the early months of 2023, since they have noted that his rehabilitation program has recently shown some encouraging signs. By the way, they did not provide an official return date, but given his recent development, they are hopeful that he will return shortly after the All-Star break to assist the team in making the playoffs and relieve star players like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan of some of the pressure. Besides, even if he gets back early, the Bulls would need him to return to his form as soon as possible. How do you think the Bulls are doing without Lonzo Ball? Do you believe he can regain his form even if he returns early? Let us know what you think in the comments section. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already for more NBA content. See you next time.